Welcome to Conversations, Cocktails, and Connections. I'm Amy Hester.
I am Emily Reeves.
What are we making?
We are going to make a Pegu Club cocktail. So it's named after some sort of famous bar that was in New York at one point. It's not open anymore, but I pulled out our In the Land of Cocktails cocktail book. So I don't know if you remember, but the episode that we decided to start trying to make cocktails, our first recipe was from this book.
Aww.
And it was the Sazerac.
like a hard one.
It wasn't that hard. But
it was just like something we've never even probably ever had.
It was the first recipe in this book, and this was the only cocktail book I owned at the time. Now we have a whole bunch of cocktail books. And so it was just kind of how it happened. I was like, this is the only one I have because it had been a gift. Yeah. And that was the first recipe. And so that's what we made. But anyway, I pulled this back out because we've kind of worked our way through a bunch of our cocktail books. And so we're going to make the Pegu Club cocktail. So it's got gin and it's got orange curacao, but I don't have that. So curacao. We've got Cointreau, so that's a good substitute. And bitters and lime juice.
So you said the bar is no longer in New York?
Yes, it's closed. It was actually originally a British bar, and then they recreated it in New York, and I don't know any further than that. So, sorry. I did not do... this is not an educational podcast.
Well, I mean, considering the what we're in right now, I mean, who knows what bars will make it anyway. So
and I don't even know when it closed.
Yeah.
So, you know...
I mean, what does it matter if it was closed? No one can go to it, right?
That's right.
That's
right.
Anyway, I'm excited about this. I unloaded out of boxes that have been packed for 2 years because we've been in our house for almost 2 years. And I got all my bar glasses out. And I told you that since we've been doing this, I didn't own any coupe glasses, but now I do. And I bought them this summer from Williams-Sonoma. And I was so excited to pull them out.
Yeah.
I haven't made anything in them yet, but...
Well, you've been buying cocktail books and leaving them over here. You're going to have to take your cocktail books home so that you have them put them on your shelf and start making cocktails at your house.
When we go through a whole one, I'll take it out and then we'll just get another. How many? I mean, there's got to be like a million cocktail books out there, but they all have similar cocktails.
Yeah.
But they might add a little twist, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
how do you do that? Like, if there's a Manhattan, and you make a cocktail book,
how do
you own that cocktail? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you
I don't know how that works?
Do something a little different? Because I
don't know. Maybe the book is the way you organize them and bring them together, and I don't know.
Yeah.
It beats me.
I'm blowing my mind.
All right.
Okay, so I got to add some bitters to my bar.
Yes.
I mean, I'm going to have to make a list of everything that we've bought that we use the most and just to add to my bar. I'm excited about it. I did order some tools on Amazon.
You're doing what I did 6 months ago. Yeah. Like it was like I've slowly been accumulating.
When it's finally actually finished, then I'll share a photo.
Well, we'll need to come and do an episode from your house.
I know. I did buy the most badass cabinet pulls.
Yeah.
Well, they're more handles than pulls, and they're from Box Turtle, which we reference Box Turtle a lot. But they're like these brass Jaguars.
Those, yeah.
So I bought them a long time ago and only bought 2. And then when I was unloading everything, I was like, oh my God, these are going to be double doored. So I went back.
Buy another set.
Well, cheers. This looks yummy.
Let's see.
It smells good.
It'll drink. The gin's a little strong, I think.
I can taste the orange though.
Yeah. And the lime.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll go down.
Mm-hmm. I might be adding Sorry. I might be adding a cube of ice in a minute.
Okay.
If we sit here for a second, if I sip it.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I mean, that's allowed. All right, well, let's clean up and visit.
Yay.
All right.
Do you ever, okay, because we have to wash our hands and clean all the time, do you, when you're in the car and it's sunny outside and your hands are on the steering wheel and you're like, holy shit, my hands look like I'm 90?
I haven't had the, like, they look like it, but they feel like it. I mean, because I don't look at my hands that often, but when I do, yeah, like, they've been so dry, like, I've been, like, they've been nicked and stuff.
I was like, oh, because I have to keep them wet at work all the time, and then you're always putting hand sanitizer, and if I get moisturizer, lotion. I don't know why I said moisturizer, because that's not a term that would typically say for my hand lotion, but, I mean, it's like you put it on and then you just wipe it right off. So
yeah, or like and there's some hand lotions that I have that like the smell is too strong.
Yeah,
you know, like. But I've been putting it on every night before I go to bed too.
Well, see, I need to get like gloves out or something and start doing that. It's the habit that I need. I'm not going to remember even tonight. I need to make a note. Things to do before bed. Okay. Take your vitamins.
Listen, I just finished. You're going to think I'm a huge nerd. You already think I'm a huge nerd. Sorry. Let me affirm your beliefs. I just finished a book called Atomic Habits, and it is all about how to build habits, and it's like the science behind it, and it provides tips and...
Okay, well, give me the Cliff Notes version, because I'm not going to read it.
I know you're not going to read it. Well, I don't know if I'll remember everything off the top of my head, because to do my book notes is on my list tomorrow, because yes, I do write organized notes from every book that I read.
What?
Yes. Again, let me go ahead and affirm my nerd.
Nerd alert!
So on my to-do list tomorrow is book notes for Atomic Habits. Yeah, and that's just for my own personal use. Like it's not like a school assignment.
I would like a full book report, please.
It's basically like a book report for myself, so that I can go back and reference stuff and like. I don't know, because I write a lot and I try to connect ideas.
I think that's good for books that are like that, that are like self-help or self-help. Or if you're reading a love novel, you could get some learn some things from the lovers.
I guess I should. I guess I should like just amend that. I don't do it for every book, because I do read a lot of like trashy, like romance novels. Like when I'm going to bed, because like that's the thing. Like I don't have to remember it's just real light and fluffy. I don't write book notes on those. I only do them on like substantive books.
Well, so what did you get from it? Like what was the big
So I mean there's all these different techniques for building habits or discouraging bad habits. And so like again there's like one of them is like stacking habits. So like every time you do this, you know, it's like something that you're automatically doing, then you add to this. They gave all these really great examples. Like I'd have to like,
well, it's really funny that you're saying this, because coming into the new year, and like today was the first day back for 2021 for me, and your first thing to talk to people about is like, well, how was your holiday?
Yeah, what are your resolutions?
Yeah, what's going on? And I mean, my mind is constantly thinking about all the things that I would like to change about routines that I'm doing, and one of them is maybe cut out wine, which I'm not gonna cut out drinking, obviously, because I like to drink, but wine, I can suck it down like. It's freaking water.
I can too. I told myself that I want to try to not drink 10 nights this month. Like, just don't drink every single night. Like, I've tried before to say, okay, I'm only going to drink 10 nights this month. Yeah. But, like, I can't, like, so I'm going to try the, you know, we're going to start with not 10. So, and sometimes it's replacing one habit with another.
Well, see, that's the thing. And so that was today's conversation is like, but if I do this... Because I've done it multiple times of like, and it's always wine because of just how much I can consume in one sitting. Yeah. Because it's just like easy to drink.
Or, and then you like, just like, I guess
it's comfort.
Yeah.
And it's habit.
Well, and it's like it's very much habit. Like when it's 5 o'clock, I'm like, pour myself a drink. And it's the way I turn my head off. It's the way my body relaxes. It's the way I like kind of forget about the day. And I'm like, there's got to be another way to do that. I mean, it's probably drugs or, you know, or like meditation or exercise, but I do all of that. You know, I do that, but in a different part of my day. Yeah. And, but that's what it does. It's like the trigger for how I turn my day off. Yeah. And, cause otherwise I'll sit there and futz around with everything, like work and stuff all night
long.
Well,
yeah, exactly. Like, that's the thing is, like, can I get a new craft project? Is that going to suit my, I don't think it will. I mean, it's really hard at first. I can do it, but I've got to be just hardcore on it.
Yeah.
And so today we were talking about maybe substituting, like, just sipping on maybe, because we do like bourbon. I mean, I was like, maybe I could drink bourbon and water and some lemon.
Yeah.
And I would just sip on that.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, well, maybe after like 4 months, would I be down in them? And then I'm like more of an alcoholic than I started in the first place.
Well, and so like on the nights that I don't drink, like when I'm trying to not drink as much, because I'm not going to quit drinking, obviously. Yeah. I'm not crazy. I drink hot tea. I know you're not a tea drinker, but
I like hot toddies.
You know what? I made a Fireball hot toddy this weekend.
I saw that on your Instagram.
It was really good.
Like you put. Okay, I was thinking Fireball, like the drink, like no, not the drink, the candy.
Oh no, whiskey.
That would be kind of cool though.
It's I have like those little bottles. Like Matthew had a whole bunch of them that he took camping, and they sit in our refrigerator, and so I got the like Fireball whiskey out, and it was really good.
Really. Mm-hmm. Well,
and I only needed one before I started falling asleep.
Well, the podcast that we did, the two of us, and we were drinking the hot toddy. I think we only made 2.
We made 2, yeah.
And I was drunk.
Yeah.
Not as drunk as Halloween. But
no.
Anyway.
Yeah, hot toddies were good. Okay, so we've been all over the place. But yeah, so building habits. Yeah. So it's a hard thing to do. And so it's got, anyway, there's like a cheat sheet. Like he's got when I do my notes tomorrow. There's a website that he has where he's got a cheat sheet you can download. So I'll download the cheat sheet for you because it is really, really interesting how all of that works. Like I work to-do lists and all that kind of stuff. So like if I put something on a to-do list, it typically happens. So this weekend I put on my to-do list win lottery jackpot.
Oh, when is that? I saw that this morning.
Tonight. There's a drawing tonight.
Shit.
Because I was like, I mean, everything that I put on my to-do list, I managed to make happen.
Girl, if you do that. But you know what? So today.
No, but those are things in my control. This is not in my control. But it was like kind of a joke in my house. I was like, I'm putting it on my to-do list.
This morning on the news, I was like, if you ever felt like if you were ever going to be greedy with the lottery, they were like on the news broadcasting that like if you won the lottery, how much money would you donate for COVID and whatever? And I was like, okay, so you would be the total asshole if you like kept all your lottery after they made this whole thing about about $400 million and you kept all of it.
Yeah.
But no, you would want to.
Of course. Okay. Of course, you would want to embody Dolly Parton. This, like,
Dolly,
she
she's
set
amazing.
such a good example.
Okay. Speaking of Dolly Parton, Julie gave me for Christmas the most amazing Dolly Parton book. And it's like lyrics of, and it's just like this awesome book. Box turtle. But anyway, that was a side note about books. And when I said Cliff Notes, you probably never bought Cliff Notes because you probably read all the books in high school.
I did buy Cliff Notes occasionally, but
that's how I read books.
But it was more like as a study guide than as a book replacement.
I wonder if they still make Cliff Notes because, obviously.
I'm sure it's online.
It's online, but it's. It would have been so much easier to just reference it online for something. But honestly, I would have handled an audiobook just fine. I just am not a reader.
Yeah.
Like,
and now everything's an audiobook. So.
I will fall asleep like that. And and then and my mind is not, it's probably a clinical, like some kind of
it's just everybody has a different way of learning.
But it's, like I will read, I'll probably retain the first page and then I'll keep reading. And then I'm like, what the fuck did I just read?
Yeah.
Sorry, Ellen.
I mean, it is. And there's probably like, you could probably learn how to not do that. There's probably techniques that you could use, but everybody has a different way of learning. Like,
it's too late now. I don't want to try.
We have a friend, and I don't know if she still does this because I mean, it's probably been 10 years since she told me this. But she didn't read because every time she read, in her mind, she heard a British accent reading the book to her, and she would get totally distracted.
Lindsay, I love you so much. And was it a hot British actor?
I don't know. And so it was like always this distraction for her, so she would never read.
That is so funny.
But if I think about her now, I think she probably is a reader. Now, actually, she doesn't, actually, I don't know. She's just so smart. Like, I think that she's probably a reader, but I don't know that she is. She learns a lot of stuff.
Oh my gosh,
but,
that's so funny.
But I need to ask her. Actually, Lindsay, let us know.
Yeah.
Do you still read in your head with a British accent? Lindsay's made multiple appearances on this podcast by way of our discussion. So one day we're going to actually have her on as a guest.
She should be one of our callers.
She should. Although she's got such a great camera presence.
Yeah,
she should probably be on video.
Ooh, Lindsay, when you get your new pool, we'll have to go poolside.
Oh, yes.
She's getting a pool.
I know. Yes.
And it's going to be freaking awesome because she was showing me.
We'll make the trip to Conway and I'll get to meet Lily in person, her dog.
Okay. I'm jumping.
That's what we do. It's happy hour.
So I was off from, let's see, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Okay. I watched so much television. But have you watched Bridgerton? Is that how you say it?
Bridgerton. Okay, let me tell you.
I'm in love. Love.
Or lust.
Lust and love.
Okay, so I started it at like 4:00 one afternoon, and it was one of those things like I was like, I guess I'm gonna have to watch this because I love Shonda Rhimes and everybody's talking about it. So I was like sitting at my desk working, I was doing like really mindless work. So I was like, oh, I'm just gonna put Netflix on. Mm-hmm. Got hooked. Honey, I stayed up till 2 a.m. so that I could watch the entire series. I never do that. Like, the next morning, Matthew goes, did you fall asleep out there? I was like, oh, no. I was just sipping on my wine all night long watching Bridgerton until the very fucking end. Sorry,
Okay, let me just talk about the show's fucking awesome. But I love how diverse the cast is. Mm-hmm. I love the colors. I've really started to pay attention to, like, color. Because it means something in film, and I don't know what, but there's always a purpose of every color. So, like, if you're watching something and the main character might be the one in more color than everybody else, so it's to draw your eye to that person, right?
Right. And it's art direction. Yeah. The art direction's beautiful.
It's just amazing. And, like, what was the Queen's Gambit? Mm-hmm. That was the most beautiful.
That one was
art.
Yeah.
Color, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
With her hair, and then the vintage house with all the like blue patterns everywhere. It's amazing. But I love the color choices that they use on this show.
Yeah.
And the lead is H.O.T. I mean,
it's so good.
I was like looking him up on IMDb. I don't even know his name.
Well, I follow him on Instagram now. Like,
you know what's crazy is when I looked up his pictures on IMDb, I didn't think he was as hot. I mean, he is hot. I'm not saying. I'm just like when I would go to, it's just the character too. But I was like, when I would watch him, I'm like, he is so symmetrically perfect. Like, his eyes are the same shape. I mean, his whole face is beautiful and just sexy.
I know. Everything about that show was so well done. And I don't like, in general, like, period stuff.
I don't either.
But this isn't period because they've taken so many liberties, right?
Yeah.
Like, the diversity of the characters, like the Queen. I mean, the attitude, her being at every event, like, you know, and the music. Like, I was hooked when they walked into like a ball and the string, you know, the quartet or whatever it is playing Ariana Grande's "Thank You Next," and I was like,
it's kind of like The Great too, you know, like.
See, I never watched The Great.
Oh,
is
Emily.
it done that way? Because if it's done that way, I'll like it.
You will like it because I don't like period. I never liked Downton Abbey. I never got into that.
Yeah, I mean, once I started watching it, I did like it, but I only watched it for like 2 seasons.
I love The Great, but it's kind of that same.
It's like, did you watch Dickinson?
Yes, and I can't wait for season 2.
So it's kind of the same way where it's got
tomorrow.
where it's got all that like modern mix into.
Oh, that one does such a good job of adding modern music
with
to
the music.
It's so good. Mm-hmm. That show.
You know what it reminds me of? Sorry. It reminds me of First Night with Heath Ledger.
Oh,
because they did all the modern music, but it was like set in the.
Actually, I rewatched that like this year.
It's not bad.
And the guy who, I don't know the actor's name with the reddish hair, he's hilarious.
He is. Movie. Yeah, he is funny. He's been in a bunch of stuff. I don't know what his name is, but sorry.
He was in Hope Floats. Side note, that was a little off. But that, I think, was my top show. And Matt has I started watching it, and he was in the room when we started it, and he was like, "Oh, what are you watching?" And then he kind of listened and he watched maybe 2 episodes, and then I would turn every time I would go to the TV, I'd turn it back on. He's like, "Are you kidding me?" I was like, "Well, I'll go downstairs. I mean, I'll watch it somewhere else, but I'm not going to stop watching it because
I watched it on my iPad.
Addicted.
Like, I sat in this chair over here and watched it on my iPad, and I was like,
HBO and Chandra, good job.
I love Shonda Rhimes. I mean, she's amazing.
She touches everything that she does is like gold.
I know. So
I want to be on your show.
Right. So she, you're going to, again, think I'm ridiculous. She's doing a partnership with Peloton right now where they've got a series of rides called the Year of Yes rides. And they're in partnership with Shonda Rhimes because she did a book called The Year of Yes, which is a really good book, by the way. Don't you like how I can bring Peloton into every conversation? Like,
it is your daily, like you do it every day. So it is.
It is. I mean, it's part of my life. Like, I get emotional on that damn bike. Do you feel like
they're your friends?
I do.
But I think that's the point, you know?
I know, that's why
it really is.
That's why they share their personalities. Like, I mean, they tell their personal stories. Like, I was on the bike really early this morning because of, like, scheduling. So my whole family was in here. And, like, she's telling this story. And, like, I was starting to cry. I was, like, trying to control my breath so my family wouldn't notice as I was, like, crying and sweating on the Peloton.
Did you think about this? Okay, so it goes back to a commercial that we talked about before, like a Peloton commercial where they make you, I mean, the commercials are so, they grab you, they're so heartwarming, and like, so they've been kind of with the pandemic and like showing people's lives in like bigger cities where they have maybe smaller apartments.
Right.
And I'm like, you think about these people if they live alone, like, because they can interact with those people and like they could be a friend. I mean, I don't. Yeah, you know that. I'm sorry that is somebody out there thinks they're Peloton instructors, they're friends. Just saying.
Oh, for sure. I mean, one of them might be sitting next to you.
So, hadn't there been something in the news lately about like a Peloton instructor that's pregnant?
Yeah.
She's like awesome.
She's like their lead instructor. She's really fascinating. I'm not going to get into her whole story, but yes, she is. She's pregnant. Like she's riding the bike like 8-9 months pregnant.
Oh, she is. Oh my god.
The
picture I saw didn't. Okay.
Yeah,
because somebody that's like completely fits 8 to 9 months, which we've never had our own children. So, but I mean, when you see somebody that's 8 to 9,
I've had wine belly.
Oh, I got wine belly right now. But anyway, I mean, and it's kind of disgusting, honestly, when you see these fit fuckers on Instagram. Sorry, Ellen, that are like ab of steel, and then they pop out a baby and they have abs of steel.
I know.
Even on the day after, and you're like, what?
But she is working really hard every damn day. Okay, so we talked about Bridgerton. What about Cobra Kai?
Love it, and I'll tell you,
season 3.
I'm
you
not
watched
finished.
It?
I think I have 1 episode left.
Okay,
but okay, this was a topic I had with somebody today too at the salon, because I love how you can tell when there might be a little bit more money in the budget.
That's what Matthew and I talked about too, because we watched the whole season in one sitting. I was like, oh, they got some money this season.
Yeah, the money's better. I mean, the
like Vietnam scenes.
Yeah, the Vietnam scene. The music is better.
The surprise guest. Yes.
The
music. We said that too. We're like, Phil Collins. Well, I guess they couldn't spring for Phil Collins, but they got the remix or the.
Well, there's a lot of like 80s music that was probably in the original Karate Kid in there too. So like you still have to pay royalties.
We said that exact same conversation. That is so hilarious. We're like, they got the budget.
Well, same thing happened with Stranger Things. You could totally see the evolving of Stranger Things and how much better it got each season because they got more money.
Yeah.
But I've never ever paid attention to. Well, I've probably always watched movies that actually had songs that you know.
Yeah.
But until we went to Sundance, and there was a movie that Shannon and I went to see. She and I were going to this one, and it was supposed to be about this rapper. We're like, oh yeah, we're gonna go. We probably know all the songs. It was like I think in the 90s. Well, the movie had no 90s. There was no music that was anything in the 90s, or it was either 80s or 90s. It was all like. They made their own music because obviously they couldn't afford the rights.
Licensing. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So ever since then, I'm like, you can tell. Like,
did they answer that question in like the Q&A or something? How do you know that?
I think they must have talked about it because we were pissed. Because that was honestly the only reason I think we probably went
for the
to
music. Well, if it's a movie about rapping, and you would think that the music would be really important.
Or
but
it may not have been rapping. It may have been just like set. The whole premise was like it's set in like this wannabe whatever rapper in the early 90s.
Okay.
You know, it may not have been said like it's rapping, but we just assume like most movies have music that would go along with the era that they're in.
Yeah.
Not someone just like mixed it themselves.
I mean, music makes such a huge difference. I mean,
huge.
We've talked about it with Bridgerton and with
like
with all of those shows,
Whoa,
plus the
our
Karate
theme
Kid.
Is music. That's crazy. Hence, I still haven't signed on to my drumming lessons, but I will get there soon.
Okay, so I sent you this, the master class. So I started watching it because I have a all access pass to master class. So it's the you can watch everybody's anything. Like seen probably what the ads are for master class. And so I got on there on Saturday because I was like, okay, I need to like learn something new today because again, nerd alert. Sorry.
No, I love that. I mean, we are class people. But
so anyway, I found the drum class, and so I sent it to Amy because they've got
it's like Sheena E or something.
Yeah,
Sheila E or
Sheila E, and she was the drummer for Prince, and amazingly talented. So I started watching it because you were like, "Do I have to have a drum set?" And I was like, "Well, I don't know. It's only like 2.5 hours worth of video, and it's like a 7-day pass, but I could give you another one or whatever. You don't need drums, okay?" She talks about like rhythm, like finding your rhythm and like how to create music like on it's like she talks about household items like you can do it like she makes like a whole mix using like water bottles and like a jar full of rice and like all this stuff, and then she goes through and like talks about all the different drum pieces and like how they're played and stuff like that. So you don't need drums to go through that class.
Did you make some could you be on Stomp?
No.
Isn't that the name of that Broadway show?
I don't
like everybody's playing
yeah. But I mean, like, and then she's like, and then you just do this, and I was like,
okay, and done.
And you're talented, and I am lost. So I only watched like about halfway through before I got distracted by something else. But to answer your question, I think you should watch it.
Okay, I will. And then I'll reach out to somebody.
Yeah, watch it and then like do whatever you want with all that. And then if you need more access, I'll give you more access.
So maybe we should do that, and then that will help us find a rhythm for our hip hop class.
That's right.
I mean, seriously.
I told Sophie that you and I were planning on taking hip hop classes. If we could find a class, I was like, would you like to take it with us? She's like, I'm fine, thanks. That's her answer to everything when she's like, hell no, is I'm fine.
She's probably
thanks.
like, I'm gonna go and peek in the window and take pictures and post you all over. And I'm like, bitch.
She's so uninterested in us. She wouldn't even do that. She's like literally. She's at 13. She does not care.
We're so much cooler than that. Like she doesn't even know. I have a new sofa coming Thursday.
Okay, what does it look like?
So I'm taking a gamble and ordered a sofa online that I've never sat in.
Well, that's how I order everything. So.
And it's from a company called Joybird.
Okay, so you've already got your chair from Joybird,
yes,
right?
and I love it.
And I feel like somebody else that we know has ordered from there.
I think Amy has.
Yes.
She ordered a console table, maybe. Mm-hmm.
And maybe Joy. Has Joy ordered anything from there?
She should, because her name's Joy.
Maybe it's just Amy that I'm thinking of.
But a lot of their furniture is very mid-century looking. And honestly, the reason, which I am kind of going mid-century because our house is kind of in that era-ish and what we're going with it. But the main reason why this sofa spoke to me is because of our dogs. You know, we buy things for our dogs. And I ended up buying a leather sofa.
Oh, we talked about that, yeah.
No detachable cushions because I think Lucy Bell is part cat. Like she likes to get on the top of what a cat, you know, like the top cushion, and it tends to like push it down.
Yeah.
So the back is complete. It's like a small sectional.
So this is our leather one.
Perfect.
Like, yeah,
just like that. And Matt's like all worried, like that the dogs are gonna scratch it up. And I'm like, it'll make it look cooler.
Well, tell him to come over and look at ours because it's totally scratched up by the dogs, but it just looks like more vintage, but it's still in like really great shape and it's super easy to clean. Yeah. Like it's my favorite piece of furniture that we have. Yeah. Because she has kind of a Chesterfield looking sofa over here. It's anthropology style. Yeah. Because that's what it came from anthropology. So it's like I feel like it kind of fits that aesthetic. And it's my favorite thing.
Well, this one's just like very, very straight. I'm very excited about it. And it's, we have 2 living area spaces, and our downstairs is our sofas. The sofa you can like sink into, it's deep. That's where you're going to like watch TV and curl up. And this one is
more of like entertaining.
Yeah. So like if people come over, you can wipe it off and you can whatever. I'm so excited about it, but I got to get rid of the old before Thursday.
Yeah, that's new furniture is always exciting.
Joybird has a 90-day return policy, so I've waited 8 to 9 weeks to get this, and I better not want to return it. I'm gonna be really upset.
I was gonna say I'm the worst at that. We did that with the couch that we have in our living room, and I fucking hate that couch. Sorry, Ellen.
Yeah.
Hate it. And I won't even sit on it because I hate it so much. But Matthew naps on it. The dogs love it. Sophie, everybody else sits on it. And I'm like, let me just scoot these pillows in and, put this blanket down. But I don't sit. I hate it so much.
I'm really irritated.
And because when we got it, we'd waited so long. I was like, I'm not messing with shipping it back. It's fine. It fits. It'll be fine.
Oh, so a client today, we had talked about furniture before, and I will tell you my Bassett sofa that's downstairs that's super comfy is awesome. And when I bought it, we bought it when we first moved in, and I think it took 30 days, but this client went in to the local store here to buy a chair, and she said they told him it was going to be 16 weeks.
Well, with COVID, everything is late. Everything is delayed. You had that issue getting tile and stuff, right?
Yes, I have that problem getting color and stuff at the salon too. Every single time we get a color order in, there's always something missing. It's so frustrating, and it's really hard to keep up. But I understand.
Yeah. I sent a so there's manufacturing issues, and then there's also shipping issues. I sent a Christmas gift to Boise, Idaho. It took 2 weeks to get there. This was through UPS. So it'll get there on January 4th, and I was mailing it before Christmas. I was like, okay. What are you gonna do? I'm not gonna try to overnight it.
So Zappos, I ordered some shoes for Matt December 4th or 5th. I actually added a pair for myself in there too.
And one for them, one for me.
And I was having buyer's remorse a little bit because I was thinking I'm going to send it back because I didn't think I liked them anyway. But Zappos is always so good. Super fast. It's always been the fastest shipping to me. And I called finally last week because we still hadn't received them. And I was just thinking, oh, it's Christmas, it's COVID, whatever. But I finally called about it, and they were lost. They had just been lost, and so I just canceled the shoes that I was getting, and he got the shoes yesterday.
That's crazy. So they initiated a new shipment or whatever?
They just sent a whole new pair. Honestly, if I wanted the shoes that I had purchased, I wouldn't have been able to get them because they didn't have them in stock. So, because they had to go into... It was
not meant to be then.
Yeah, I didn't need them.
That's how it's supposed to go.
But I want to go into HBO Max really quick.
Okay.
Which I've been loving because it's been a breath of fresh air with not having something else another outlet because we stream only for our movies and shows and stuff. So
yeah.
AT&T customers get HBO Max for free. If you didn't know this,
I know, and we're still paying for it. I've got to make that switch.
So it's been pretty awesome. But do you know? Okay, Jenna Lyons.
Yeah. I started watching it.
It's so good.
It is good, but I'm not a big reality TV person, and it's really set up like a reality TV show. So I haven't gotten. I think I watched the first 2 episodes.
Well, I think,
but I love her.
I love her, and I think that's why I like it is because personality wise, I didn't know who she was. I've always known her as just a J. Crew style icon or stylist or whatever. She kind of made J. Crew, and I love her style whenever she's photograph. I love how she can do the white shirt and
she just wears everything so well.
It's a crisp, it's an edgy prep in a way.
Yeah.
And I love just the simplicity of the modern or just the part and here and I love that level. Okay, so that show to me, and I've always loved I guess maybe I haven't always loved, maybe in the last couple of years when these have kind of come back, but the work jumper. Like the work suit, I totally ordered one. After
I love them too. I just don't. It just doesn't work on my. It doesn't work on my body.
I don't know if it's gonna work on my body because
it would probably work on my body if I lost 40 pounds.
That is not true.
Yeah,
I don't think that's true at all. I think my thing is when I get it, I ordered one from this company and I don't even know. It has heard me talking. So I will tell you. It's called Wild Fang.
Oh, I've heard. Yeah.
So it is a true looking, like it kind of has a Dickies look to it. And I got a camel color.
You will totally be able to pull it off.
The only thing I worry about is like boobs. Like I want boobs to be
your
gone.
height and your legs. Like you have like these like great thin legs.
Well, we'll see. But I
my
want
hips.
It to be...
Here's what doesn't work in those. My hips, and I'm like short. I'm like short and squatty.
But you know, like Jenna, she works it, and it's like over. She's really tall.
She's like almost 6 feet tall.
Yeah,
I think.
she's really tall.
Yeah,
but I want it to be like effortless looking. I want to be able to like.
You will be able to pull it off. It will look good on you.
I don't know. I'm kind of nervous, but
you might need to have it tailored. Like you might have to buy something like larger to accommodate your boobs, and then like tailor it for your. Small waist and legs.
Like the one thing about I've never.
You need Dolly Parton's tailor.
She's got a good tailor.
She does. Everything's got to be custom made for her body.
Has to be custom for her. But this company, I've never bought anything from them, and they just totally like targeted me on social media. I've decided I'm gonna start calling it the social. Well,
social ads and targeting really, really works.
Yes.
For like retail, it does not work for some other things. I could get into, if we want to talk about digital marketing, we can go down that road.
I can see how that could be. That is a question I'd like to give to you later.
Okay, well we can talk about that later.
But no, so and I wasn't even talking about a jumpsuit. All of a sudden,
but here's the thing: they may target people that like.
The certain style,
or that show, or that already follow Jenna Lyons on Instagram.
Follow her. I don't yet.
Or follow. I mean, what they find people that have that style, and they say we want people like this. So they find they're not
that I'm
fucking listening.
Good in this suit.
No,
I'm just kidding.
They think that you're more likely to buy it.
Well, and I did, but and I clicked on it. So then, of course, it was like, whoa, all the time. But I liked their ad because you could go to their website and you could see all different body types and ages wearing it. Anyway, this website, they showed all body types. So they did show some people with like big busts and like bigger, and they look cute on them. And then they showed this like funky old lady that I hope I'll look like someday, that like rocking like short gray hair.
Did they show someone that's 5'2" with hips?
They show, I'm not kidding. Like, you need to look at it because it looks really cool. Like, and they have all these different colors, and then actually the brand Lee, like, you know, Lee's jeans. Mm-hmm. When I did a Google search, I was trying to find something a little cheaper because these were kind of pricey.
Yeah.
Lee's jeans has one that's like a corduroy that looked pretty cool too. It was pretty pricey. I just don't do corduroy. I just have never really gotten into corduroy.
I got a corduroy blazer this season. I haven't worn it because where would I wear a blazer? I'm going to wear it on our next recording.
Oh, please do.
I'm going to wear it on our next recording because I love a blazer.
I love a blazer.
And so this is a J. Crew, like, you know, brown corduroy blazer. And I was like, oh, I'm really going to.
So I bought a blazer.
Tags on it.
I bought a blazer. Do you shop on Poshmark ever? Because I do. I love it. Well, I shop it because I sell things on Poshmark.
Right.
So, therefore, I did last year. I bought this Anthropologie. It's like a mustard. I have never worn it. And it's super cute. But the thing that I don't like about it is there's no substance to and structure to the top. So, I went on the Amazon and bought some shoulder pads. I still haven't worn it yet, but
so are you gonna sew them in?
No.
Or are you gonna like Velcro them in? You gonna do like the Velcro or the?
They have this like attachment thing.
I remember those.
Oh God! They came in a can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what were those called?
I don't know, but they were in a can.
My mom had them, and I would borrow them.
Yeah,
you know, so they were mold.
Big.
Yeah,
they were big. No, these are kind of like that, but they have this like it's like a lip inside that you can attach it to your bra strap.
Oh, interesting.
So it just kind of adds some structure, which is also, I mean, like, it doesn't even, this is just a tip. I think everybody should have a little structure in a blazer. You don't want to have a blazer, a boxy blazer that is just like, especially if your shoulders like tend to not be any very broad. If you had too broad of shoulders, then maybe you don't need them. But I like to have a little here. I think it helps with your whole silhouette.
Well, sure. Yeah, I mean, and again, it depends on body type.
Yeah, totally.
And the way the blazers cut and everything. But like, you know.
But I bought a set of shoulder pads on Amazon. I think I've got like 2 sets, which and I have 2 blazers currently that needed a little structure, and I didn't want to like sew them in there, so I bought these.
I would like to tell you that last week Sophie brought a t-shirt into me and she's like, "Hey Emily, can you sew up the hole in this shirt?" And I said, yes I can.
Let me go watch a video first.
I was like, just leave that right here. But the funny thing about that is,
did she ask you to do something for her?
No, that first of all. Second is, like, 2 years ago we were shopping for cotillion dresses and for Sophie, and not for me, obviously.
Come on.
I mean, we did have to buy a cotillion dress for me too. Yeah. Let's just be honest, because
that dress was so cute too.
And the sleeves were too long. There's like this like sequin, is so cute, sequin dress. And the owner of the shop was like, "Oh, well, you can just whip stitch those right up." And I looked at her like she had lost her mind, and I was like, "I don't know what you just said. Is that something that I can pay you to do?" I mean, like, and not like in a, you know, like demeaning way. I was like, "I just don't know." And she's like, "Just whip stitch it." Like, she said it again, and I was like, okay. So I took the dress home.
You went outside and Googled?
No. I safety pinned it. I was like, "Here, Sophie, here's what we're going to do. We're just going to fold these inside, like fold it inside out and safety pin it. You're good to go." And so but I've since taken sewing classes at the Arkansas Fashion School, and I have like this full sewing box. I have sewing machines. I have 2 sewing machines.
Where are these sewing machines?
Well, they have a whole like shelf of my hobbies. Anyway,
I have a sewing machine and I took classes, but I can't. It's been so long. So when I got it out, like something's wrong with the needle and I don't know how to fix it. So it's like,
I probably could help you.
Thank you. I will bring it over
Things
here.
I should not volunteer to help with. Let's add that to the list.
Do you know when I took sewing classes, I was very ambitious with my sewing classes. So
I wasn't, because I bought all the stuff.
Well, I bought all the stuff, but I'm just telling you, like, this class was at I can't remember where it was.
It was like Joann's or something, wasn't it?
No.
I thought we talked
about it was somewhere else. I can't remember the name. But anyway, this lady was so wonderful and nice. And you could go in with, like, so you weren't all making the same thing. So if I wanted to learn how to make shorts, I could make shorts. Well, I brought a fucking bolster pillow that was like
it was curved, like, so.
Oh,
I mean, it was
it's
like
round,
and it probably had like
piping, and everything. And it was a pillow that I'd purchased from West Elm to go on the bed. And I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna buy this awesome velvet fabric, and we're gonna use the basically."
You like pick this like super hard fabric to work with, and this super hard pattern.
So basically, the lady helped me make the pattern off the whatever the thing that was already on there.
That's hilarious.
So I mean, of course, I can't do it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
And learning how to sew a zipper. I mean, it was like, I was only in the advanced class in the beginner's class.
That's so funny.
But after that class, though, I mean, I learned how to use my machine. And so I came home and I was like, I'm going to make slipcovers for these Parsons chairs that I have. So I spent a whole weekend. And I sat there and I used...
This is so me. Like, I think this is hilarious because you and I are the same person in this sense.
I'm sorry. I used drop cloth material. And side note, if you go to Home Depot, this is a tip. Home Depot.
Hot tip.
Cheap and cute. You can go to Home Depot or Lowe's and buy drop cloth in the painter section. Wash it and it looks like linen.
I know people have used those for curtains.
Yeah,
before.
I've done that for curtains before. So I thought this would be this great idea to make. So I literally sat there. It worked. I mean, I used it, but after that, I was like, I don't think I've sewed anything since because it took. Right. It was a lot, and it was
an overcommitment.
You could not look at it closely at all.
Well, I sewed up the hole in Sophie's t-shirt. Not with my sewing machine. I just like hand stitched
Yeah.
it, which I showed Matthew. I was like, I just want you to know. I sewed up, and he goes, "Did you whip stitch it?"
I don't understand what that means.
I said, I think I did.
What does that mean, a whip stitch? Like, that should be like a quick stitch?
I think it means like quick stitch. It's just like some, like.
Yeah.
And I was like, don't
seriously bringing my sewing machine over here.
I may have overcommitted to that. Maybe we should just Google that.
I didn't think about Googling. I don't know what it's doing.
I actually haven't gotten my machines out in several months.
Why do you have two?
Well, because one is a sewing machine and one is
embroidering?
No. It's it's like the edges. It's like the edges. It's like this.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember what it's called, but it's like it's the thing that seals the edges of two fabrics together. So you
can hem jeans. Ooh, you can make some awesome jean jackets. Did you notice?
I could do a lot of things in theory.
Did you notice on Cobra Kai, Johnny's denim vest?
Oh my God. I don't think I noticed the denim vest, but Matthew and I did talk about this. Johnny is the best character.
He's awesome.
Because the thing that made me, again, my nerdiness comes through. Is like every time he misunderstood something related to the computer or the internet, he's like, do one of those hash browns on it. Like every time he talked about hashtags, he's like, do one of those hash browns on it. Or when he brought the computer to the pawn shop and he was like, the battery died anyway. And the guy's like, did you try plugging it in? I mean, it just made me laugh.
And the best one to me was when he was trying to do photos of him to put on Instagram or to Facebook.
And he's recreating
and
all
he's
the photos.
totally making fun of all the. They're totally making fun of all the influence. Like,
yeah,
it was awesome.
It was so good. Obviously, he's not my favorite character, but like
he's my favorite.
I loved the message from his character. Like it was just super entertaining.
He is my favorite character of the
and
whole
then
show.
when he took Miguel to the concert, what concert was it? Matthew's like, oh,
Twisted Sister.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know the words that just came out of your mouth, because he was like, oh, that's so and so with such and such song, and like
Twisted
we're
Sister,
watching it, and I was
Priest.
like, I don't know what you just said or who that is. I've never heard this song before.
Oh my God. And I'm 100% sure that his hair was a clip-on in the back on that scene. And scene.
It was so good. Okay, so speaking of hair.
Okay, speaking of hair, I got bangs.
And they look great.
So let's just talk about how I got bangs.
Mm-hmm.
So I was watching a show. As I said, I watch a lot of movies and shows this week, and because I drank also a lot of wine.
We're coming off the holidays, people.
I
Come on.
told myself I would never do this again, because I have done it before. At 1:45 a.m., Amy Hester grabbed the scissors.
Oh my God. You would think you're old enough to know better. But still too young to care.
Had a grand plan. So I went to the bathroom before bed.
Wine soaked at 1:45 a.m. What had you just watched?
So this actually...
Your hair looks great.
Well, somebody fixed it today.
Okay.
Back at work. It's been in a bobby pin since. And I woke up and I'd forgotten. I'm sorry. Hashtag Jenny Craig. Or Betty Ford and Jenny Craig.
Betty Ford or Jenny Craig?
Hashtag Betty Ford. Amy Hester needs to go to Betty Ford. Apparently. But no, I just got the scissors, and they weren't even like good scissors. They were like I don't even know what kind of scissors. I just grabbed scissors that were in my thing. And I didn't even realize it until I woke up the next morning and I walked into the bathroom. I was like, oh!
You saw the hair remnants?
I had a ball of hair like this big. And so the other day I sent Julie a message. I was like, oh my God, I need a little help. So anyway, she fixed my bangs.
I think they look good.
They're kind of fun. I like them. I mean, today I feel like, did you ever in like grade school?
Can you do my bangs like that? Because
I've been doing this today.
I can't keep my hands off my bangs.
You know how boys like got the Justin Bieber and they're all like this? So that's a wrap. Because we could talk for freaking
This is what
forever.
happens when we get together.
I know. Love you, man.
I mean, I didn't even know what we were going to talk about tonight, but I figured we'd, figure it out.
Somebody asked me tonight. They were like, I think Aaron asked me, what are you guys going to talk about? And I was like, well, I have a couple things, but We really don't make a big list because we think we could just bring one topic and then just start talking.
Because that's what friends do.
Yeah.
You don't need to have. You don't have it. You don't bring an agenda to your happy hour, do you?
No, but no.
Even
never.
Even when it's a production.
Exactly. Okay. Night.
Cheers.
Night.